So a little bit ago, I did a video about announcing the Astronomical League and NASA challenge for the Observe the Moon Night. Well, the National Observe the Moon Night is October 4th, which was last night or yesterday for me. I don't know when I'll actually publish this video, but it's not going to be today. Uh, so um, the October 4th has passed, but we were experiencing a lot of rain. There was no moon to be seen, so we couldn't do it on the National Observe the Moon Night. So it is the next night, October 5th, and we want to do the challenge. So we've just gone to the website to make sure we're doing everything we need to do. And what we need to do is observe the moon with either binoculars or a telescope. You can even do it with your eyes if you want to. You have to do the observation between October 2nd and the 11th so that you can see the required Maria. You have to identify these on an image you gather. And so if you wait past the October 11th, the moon won't be full enough. You wouldn't be able to see them all. So that's why you have to do it between the 2nd and the 11th. And so I'll try and post this before the 11th so any of you that want to do it can do so. The observation may be done visually or through imaging, and you're supposed to include the information on the equipment that you used. And then with your image, you're going to submit that image and you're going to observe the four Maria, and they've listed the four Maria, the dark areas or the seas on the moon. And you have to identify those on your image. And then you're going to label those, and you're also going to label the 6 Apollo mission landing sites. I'm just going to probably use Google, or they have provided a image on the website showing where those are. And so I may do them on there. I don't know. And then you have to do an outreach activity. Now, it sounds like when you say outreach activity, it's this big production, and it's really not. An outreach activity could be just taking your family out and having them look at the moon with you. I'm going to do my outreach activity here at home with my husband, and we are going to create a YouTube video to share it with those of you who are interested in this challenge. And then you just have to resubmit the information of your sketch to the coordinator, and the deadline for submitting that is November 11th. All right, so I've set up my Seestar outside. It is in EQ mode, and I'm currently imaging the Veil Nebula, but we're going to stop that imaging because the moon is visible. And we're going to go back to the main screen and click on Solar System and click Go to the Moon. And I have found that it is easier to go to the moon if I have actually done a to a different object. And then it kind of like finds its spot and knows where it's at better. And so then it locates the moon right away. Sometimes if you just turn on your Seestar and then tell it to go to the moon, it can't find it. The brightest object in the sky, and it can't find it. But I found the solution to be just go to a different object and have it find it, and then it does all of that calibration, and it does the autofocus and all of that, and then it finds it without any problem. And so here we are. We found the moon the very first try because I was imaging that Veil Nebula. And so this is the moon. Look at that bright spot up there. Yeah, so there is a pretty full moon. Let's go ahead. I turned off the screen things. Let's go ahead and we'll do it at 2 times. And that's maybe a little bit too big for identifying things. And so we could go in and change the gain and things so that it's brighter, but it looks like we're going to want to change it back to 1 times, and then we could just use our fingers to enlarge it to identify things. And so we are going to identify the objects that are required for the challenge. I'm going to save this image. In fact, I can, let's see. Let's see. Maybe I will just go and turn that on. Let's go ahead and take a video of this and then we'll stack that video. And I really do like doing that. So all I'm doing is I switched it over at the bottom right above the red button to video, and then make sure you click that raw button on the right-hand side, about in the center of the screen, and now mine is red. And so that will save all of the exposures that it's using to make that video. And let's go ahead and video this for, let's say maybe, let's do it for a minute. And then we can go in and we will stack that image. And then we will export that to our device, which in my case, it is on my cell phone. And then I can use that cell phone as my image. I will get it either, I'll probably edit it on my computer just because my phone screen is so small that it will be hard to identify things. So I'll put it on my computer and use Photoshop or Paint or, one of those editing software that's on my computer. And then we can identify the objects that we need to for the challenge. We're at 50 seconds on the video. And so once we get to a minute, we will stop the recording. And there's the minute. We'll stop the recording. It has saved the video. And now we can go back out of this and go to the My Album. Up at the top, click on the Seestar. And there's that lunar video right here at the top there. And it's a minute-long video. And so you just click on that video, and then the top right-hand corner, you can click Stack. And I don't know exactly how long it will take. It usually does it pretty quick, up to about the 65 to 70%. That's usually on the Deep Sky Stack. I don't know if video stacking the moon videos any faster, but I will stack that and then I will bring you back when we're all done. So I've gotten the video or the image stacked and I've saved it to my phone, transferred it to my computer, and now we're going to identify those areas. The first one is Mare Serenitatis. I'm not right sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but that one, I'll show you where that one is on the. Then the second is Mare Tranquillitatis. I'm butchering these names, sorry. Then Mare Imbrium, and then Mare Cognitum. Cognitum? I don't know. Here are the Apollo landings, 11 through 17. Apollo 13 didn't actually land on the moon. It was, there was an oxygen tank that had an explosion in the service module. And so the crew used the lunar module Aquarius as a lifeboat, basically, and successfully returned to Earth, making it the famous successful failure. So this was the objects that we had to image, is the moon with the Maria and the Apollo landings identified on it. I will submit my images to the coordinator for my certificate. Hope you enjoyed this look at our moon, and take the time by the 11th of October to image the moon, and you too can earn a certificate. Thanks for watching.